So today we're talking about money.
Mm.
Why? Because money is one of the top causes of stress in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We already know, like, it's often cited as one of the top reasons for divorce, relationships breaking up. But the question is, does it have to be?
Does it have to be? So if you would have asked me this question, let's say 10 years ago, I would probably have a different answer than what I have right now. But the fact is, because of the tips and tools that we're going to share with you today, it is not that way for me anymore. So if you want to learn how to make money better, have easier money conversations, then you want to stick around for the rest of this video. All right, hi guys, welcome back. I'm Gleesy.
And I'm Al.
And here Forever I Do, we teach you how to brag.
Build relationships.
According to God.
Hey.
So you clicked on this video because you want to do money better.
Yeah.
You want conversations to be conversations about money to be better. You want your relationship with your partner in reference to money to be better. And boy, do we have some tips for you.
Yeah. Now, before we kicked off this video, you said 10 years ago, your response would have been different.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because we did money the wrong way. And I know for me growing up, money was not something that you talked about. You know, there was lots of secrets about money, lots of privacy about money. You know, like you have yours, I have mine. Or actually, what's yours is mine, what's mine is mine. And I just had a lot of things that I needed to get rid of so that I could do money better. The godly way, the right way of how to handle your finances.
Yes. And what is the godly way? The godly way is to do it together. Often we say, like, because it's such a hard topic, because it's so taboo, and because we hear all of these things before we go into marriage about, again, doing it separately. He has his account, you have your account, and your secret stash account that mama told you to get. Because we hear all those things, we say, well, let's just do it separately. Let's just not even try to have the conversations. As long as the bills are being paid, is what we often hear.
Right.
We're good.
Right.
But if you're not doing it together, are you good?
Yeah. I can remember you taking me to get my first car. Right? And I got my car and you was like, oh, you need to go get a club for your car. And I was like, I don't have no more money. Like, I gotta wait till I get paid next week. And that was the first time that I learned that you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. Like people, not everybody live paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. So I feel like my financial journey has been that of dispelling all of these myths that I learned growing up.
Yeah, and I think both of us have, because my financial thoughts were save. You never know when anything's going to happen, so you just need to save, like save money under your mattress type of deal. And that too was unhealthy. We were on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
As far as money habits, but neither one of them were very healthy.
Yeah.
Of course, you should save, but should that be the only thing you do? Of course, you should want to spend money and enjoy yourself, but should that be the only thing that you do?
So, it has to be a balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're here to do today, to share some practical tips on how to do that better.
Yeah.
The number one way to start, at least, is you have to have a budget.
Yes.
Like, I know it's a dirty word. Like, should I have said that?
I know. So I thought that the budget was going to be horrible. I was never going to have any money to do anything. And it shifted my perspective when we actually sat down and wrote a budget. Yeah. Not a money tracker, but an actual budget. Telling your money where it's going. It was a game changer. Like, I felt like I had just gotten a raise at work because I was able to do so much more stuff with the money that we brought in. And there was no shame and guilt about it, you know?
Yeah. Because why is it no shame and guilt? Because it makes it transparent.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows what's going on. You know what's going on with the bills. You know what's going on with the accounts. You know what each other is spending, because you set that amount before you get into the month, not after you're already in it and you've already started spending. You set the ground rules ahead of time.
Yeah.
and you know what you're saving too. So you know what you're saving and you know what you're spending.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it keeps everybody on the same page. Now, I will say this: initially, it wasn't an easy conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because we still brought that old financial baggage into the budget conversations.
Right.
And it still was, we need to save more. And it was,
we need to spend. Like, we can't take it with us. We got to spend this money.
Yeah. So it will be a process. It will be some conversations that will get tough.
Yeah.
There will be some hard conversations, but it's worth it in the end.
Yeah. I'm really grateful just for us leaning into those tough conversations about money. And so as you're preparing to do a budget, now it could look different for different people.
Absolutely.
So our budget, for the most part, is a spreadsheet.
Yes.
Elle put together this amazing spreadsheet that, because things in our finances typically don't change, we can use from month to month. Now, at the end of a month, we do look at what we spent in a certain, in all of our categories. And like, say, for instance, groceries, because it's ever fluctuating. That could be something that, in this month it was fine, but next month, I think maybe we need to increase our grocery budget to X, Y, and Z.
We need to have a line just for eggs, I think.
Anyway, we have to have that ebbs and flow in your budget. And I think that's important as you're sitting down to put things on paper, understanding that just because we lock this in this month doesn't mean that it's going to look that way next month. And then other people might not like the spreadsheet. They might like more of a digital, like an app that you can download. Our fave, Dave Ramsey, I call him Uncle Dave. He has like different apps that help couples be able to track their finances together. And those things are important, but whatever avenue you decide to go, you have to pick how you're going to track your budget.
Yes. And the great thing about budget, like, you start with those things that you have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So you should always have a budget line item for your mortgage or your rent, your gas and electric, if you have car payments, things of that nature. You have to pay those things. But the great thing is you also pay yourself.
Yeah.
You also create a budget line item for your monthly expenses.
Mm-hmm.
You also create a budget line item for if you're planning for a vacation,
mm-hmm.
for your date nights. So you also budget your fun. You don't. A budget is not restrictive.
Right.
It's freeing. It's
right.
freedom. It removes the guilt. It removes the shame. It removes all of the hidden things that that become so much of a part of our finances.
Mm-hmm.
You no longer have to do it that way, and it's such a freeing moment when you actually understand that I have this. I'm safe here. I'm building something here. I'm moving towards something here.
Yeah, and just start where you are.
Yeah.
No matter what, no matter how much money you make, how much money you spend, just start. Like, it was going to make a big difference. It's something about seeing on paper, or like seeing in an app, or like just in a nice way, seeing what you're bringing in and what's going out, because it just help you to understand where you are and what you need to do to get where you want to go.
Absolutely. Initially, I know our first financial conversation in premarital counseling, and you may have heard us talk about this before, was...
Oh, I was good with the finances, so he's going to handle the finances.
Yes. So you don't want to put all that pressure on one person in the marriage.
Yeah, that's true.
Because as soon as they have to tell you no, because that's when the budget becomes restrictive, when one person is doing it and they're controlling the ebbs and flow of everything that's coming into the household, then it becomes an issue.
Yeah.
You have to actually share the wealth, if you will, when it comes to budgeting.
Yeah.
Everybody should play a role. Everybody should have a part in what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And we got, again, some practical roles that each of you can kind of divide and conquer when you're managing your budget, your finances.
Yeah, so I send the expenses. Al manages the budget sheet. So, for instance, my daughter and I went and got our nails done the other day. So I sent Al how much we spent, and he adds that to the budget sheet.
Yes.
And then Al is the bill payer, so he makes sure that everything gets paid. So we both use the same budget sheet. Our finances go there, and then he makes sure that things are getting taken care of.
But we can both see it.
Right.
So it's just at the click of a finger on a phone, we can both see what's been spent, where it's been spent, where it's at. And also you can see what areas that you're not going to spend in, And you can say, well, maybe I can do a little bit extra in this category because I know I'm not going to spend in that category. So, of course, we don't have a budget line item for nails on our budget sheet, but Khaleesi has a budget line item and our daughter has a budget line item. So we can pull from those. And if it's coming to the end of a month, as it was when they went to get their nails done, we now already know like what we have remaining with 1 day left in a month. So we can say, oh, I can probably splurge a little bit in this area. Again, having that conversation ahead of time, because I know I have this left. I know where my money has gone and where I have room left to send even more, if you will.
Yeah. So just making sure that you guys are not putting it all on one person, you know, so like making sure that you have that team approach to dealing with your finances. So both parties have equal stake and they feel like they're involved in the decision making. So, so when you write that budget, you both should be there writing that budget, not just one person saying, all right, here's the budget for this month. No, sit down and have the conversation and do it that way.
Yes. And money is power. So you don't want it to be power imbalances. So share it.
Y'all, we had so many tips and tricks that we wanted to share with you that we had to make a part 2. So make sure that you come back next week. That's right, next week for part 2 of how to manage your finances in marriage. Make sure that you go ahead and write down your budget. Get started this week wherever you are. Write down your expenses, write down what you bring in, and get started on a healthier financial journey. Remember, go ahead, like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you next week. All you got to do is brag on it.